Welcome to another episode of One Town, One Community. I'm Amelia. Today I'm joined by Library Director Libby O'Neill. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So tell me a little bit about your role as the Library Director and just a little bit about the library in general.
Okay. So I'm the director. I oversee the staff and the library and all activities. I have a wonderful staff that we all do. I do the adult programming along with my associate director, Sarah Ward. We have wonderful children's librarians that do a lot of activities for children, babies through teenagers. We have circulation staff that does the dealing the front lines with the public. So they're checking books in, checking books out, placing holds, answering any questions. And we're just trying to think of a lot of ways to recreate the image of the library. So we're doing a lot of new kinds of programming, STEM and STEAM, so a lot of like science and engineering. We do a lot of crafts here at the library. Our children's librarians just this school year started a coding club for kids. We do a cooking club. We have checkout materials, our Stuffbrary collection. So we have a lot of unique items like an air fryer you can check out, an Instant Pot. I had a donation, so someone donated a guitar, so we put that in the collection so you can try things before you buy it. We have an ice cream maker, so things you can use at a party that you don't really want to buy and use like a one-time thing. And we put a lot into our digital collection. So we have Creative Bug, so you can learn tutorials on crafting and like cake decorating and all of that you can do from the comfort of your own home. We have a lot of ebooks and audiobooks through digital collections from Overdrive, and it just happens to be called Libby, not planned on my part. Mm-hmm. Let's see, I'm probably missing a couple things. We have Hoopla, sponsored by the Friends of the Library. So that's more ebooks, audiobooks, TV, music, and they're always available, so no waits for the collections. I'm sure there's a lot more that I'm missing, but sure. Yeah, we just offer a lot of programming and ways to bring the community really together.
Great, that sounds great. So how did you get involved with libraries? I guess.
Well, my parents would say way back when I used to alphabetize my book collection when I was a little kid. I'm not sure it started at that point for me, but when I got out of college, I really didn't know what direction I wanted to take my career. And so I got a job at a library, and I just sort of fell in love with working there, and then the circulation desk, helping people. I mean, that's really what it is all about for me, just to be available to help people and enrich people's lives. And so, yeah, so I had the job right out of college. I decided I loved it. It was my calling, my passion, and I went back to school for library science.
Awesome. So how many other libraries have you worked at besides Norfolk Public Library?
As a professional librarian or just as a library staff member?
Library staff member.
Okay, so I have worked, let's see, I think 4 other libraries. When I was just a library staff member, I worked at Yale and MIT. When I got out of getting my graduate degree for library science, I worked at the Boston Public Library. And then after the Boston Public Library, I became a director in Marion at the Elizabeth Tabor Library, close to Cape Cod. And then I came to Norfolk, where I'm very, very happy.
Great. And is there something different or special about Norfolk Public Library to you than any other of the libraries that you've worked at?
I think that the staff especially are just so creative, so innovative. They take the initiative to do such wonderful and creative programs, and really just think outside the box to engage the community, offer enriching programs, and the community is just so wonderful. It's great to be a part of this community that really sort of looks out for each other. It's bigger than Marion, where I used to work, but it still really feels like a small town, which is really fun, really, really comforting.
Great, awesome. So I know you mentioned a couple of the programs that you offer at the library. So what do you have any most popular programs? Do you have anything that's specifically your favorite?
Before I started here, there was a Read It and Eat It book club that the previous director started, but Sarah Ward, the associate director, took on. And I happen to love to eat. I happen to love to cook. So I've attended like one or two of their sessions, and it's just so much fun. It's just people sitting around. They each bring, it's not required, but it's encouraged for you to bring a dish from either a chef or a theme. They specify which meeting it's going to be. So each meeting is based either on a chef or a theme of food, like Asian food or something like that. And so they all sort of sit around and they talk about the books, the cookbooks that they've looked through that month. Usually they meet around every 6 weeks. And so they sit around and they talk about, what worked for them, what didn't when they cooked those recipes, and everyone samples, everyone's dish, and it's just a really fun atmosphere. And you go away feeling very, very full and satisfied with everything that you've sampled. Other programs, I love a lot of the children's stuff. They do reading to dogs, so kids can gain confidence in reading to therapy dogs. And Courtney Allen, the senior youth children's librarian, she started a coding club this year, which I think is really great and relevant to the times. I started a book club. It's YA for adults. So basically adults are reading teen books, and we meet at Eaglebrook at a restaurant. So we are outside of the library, but still doing library programs, which is pretty fun. But we talk all about teen books and while we have a meal together. And some people choose to have an alcoholic beverage too, which is fun too.
Great, awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what would you say, as the library director, is your overall goal of the library?
If I was thinking really big, I would say that I would want everyone in the community to have a library card and to utilize the library. I think our numbers are going up. We have a lot of people that use the library, a lot of people that rely on the library, but there's always room for improvement. And so we have focused a lot since I've been here. I've been here for a little over a year. We've focused a lot on trying to get out into the community. My staff have set up tables at the farmers markets, community day, really trying to get the message of all that we do and all that we offer. And they're free services that we offer to every patron, every resident of all ages. So, we really try to get the message out. Sarah does a lot of the Facebook and Courtney does the Instagram. So, pushing all of the library activities on social media, just trying to get the word out as much as possible, so that we can target new people that come in. Last fall, I had a brew night at the library. So we had 3 breweries come to the library and have tastings for 21 years older and over. But that was a great way to really highlight what we offered at the library to people that don't necessarily come to the library, So we're trying to find ways to really reach people, so that everyone will use the library.
Yeah, you have a lot of activity on social media. I don't know if I've ever seen a library with that much social media activity.
That's
and
great.
consistent too. It's very impressive.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's all my staff. They're great. They're great at
Yeah, it's awesome.
it. Thank you.
So I know you talked a little bit about the Norfolk community and how special it is, but is there something specifically you like most about the Norfolk community?
Um, I just think that they are just the people, and again, I've only been here for a year, so I still, have a lot more people to meet. And please, whoever, would watch this, please feel free. My door is, once the library is open again, my door is always open. I'm always willing to chat with whoever wants to come and say hello and introduce yourself. I just think that people are so nice and so welcoming. They've been wonderful here, willing to help out with anything and pitch in. And I don't know, I just feel very welcome here. And like I said before, it feels like a very small town community, because everyone really looks out for each other and is very active and engaged in the community.
Great. Awesome. Do you have any favorite places in Norfolk?
I haven't really had a chance to get out too much around here. I have been to Stony Brook Wildlife. I brought my family there to kind of walk around. We've been to the Fall Festival before there, which is really great. I've been to Community Day, which I really, really enjoyed. And then just Town Hill. I like, going out there and just reading a book or, and, enjoying some sunlight during, either right after work or during lunch or something like that.
Great. Awesome. So moving on kind of to the more difficult topic. How has the library and your day-to-day kind of job been affected by COVID-19 and what's going on with everything there?
Yeah. Well, we've shut down the library as of March 16th. We have no meetings here, no programs, no public is able to come into the library. We tried to do curbside pickup for the first couple of days we were opened, but then the governor, mandated no non-essential businesses to stay closed. So just for the safety of the public and the staff, we decided just to not have to offer that service, and the staff has not been coming in. We've all been working from home. I'm actually in my office today because I had to do I try to come in like every 2 weeks just to, check on things, get some things done that I couldn't do from home, like payroll or stuff like that. But yeah, everyone's working from home, professional development, special projects that we weren't able to do when we're open and being, so busy. We've been planning a lot of virtual programs because as of now, we know that we're at least through the month of May. There'll be no in-person programs, no meetings. So everything is virtual. We're doing a lot of book clubs virtually, story times, virtual programming. We're having an author talk on May 14th at 6:30 p.m. This could continue to change. We envision possibly even having programs virtually through the month of June. Who knows even more? We started a community. I've always wanted to be able to do a community reads program. Once we can open up and all of this sort of changes and we know what the new normal is, we'll be able to do that. But for right now, we're having a very small community reads. So we chose a title that's available on Hoopla, which means that anyone can read it at any time because there's no waits. So you can get it an ebook or an audiobook. It's called The Mountains Sing. I can't remember or probably even pronounce the author's name, but it's a Vietnamese family, and you'll learn about the culture in Vietnam. And so we're going to do that. We're going to have similar themed books for children and teens. A couple book groups virtually for that. I'm trying to get some programs. I have a previous board of library trustee member from another library that I worked at, and he had visited Vietnam, so hopefully he can come in and talk about his experience visiting Vietnam and the culture there that he experienced. So yeah, everything's sort of virtual, and it's still a great way to, one of my staff members is doing coffee talks, so she's sort of just having like a a check-in once a week with whoever wants to join. I think she's having it at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays and 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. So you can hit either the morning or the afternoon time. And it's just a great way to be able to still see people, connect with people, talk about the stress and anxiety that people might be feeling. And I know that I have found when I've been leading virtual book groups, it's just so wonderful to be able to see, the patrons again and talk about things. And it's been a great way to connect, even though we're not able to connect in person right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely important to stay connected, even if it's just virtually. It's,
Yeah.
as I said before earlier to you, it's better than nothing.
Yes, exactly.
You definitely have a lot of virtual offerings, but you did before this crisis started as well.
Yes.
So are you finding, well, I would hope that you're finding that they are more popular and finding that you're getting a lot more. Do you think it's gotten significantly more popular or just a little bit? Like, do you think, how much of an increase in volume have you seen, I guess, in your virtual
Right.
programming?
So in programming, I would say it's probably about the same as what we would get in person, which is great. I was a little worried that some people wouldn't use the virtual programs because of any technology. People just wouldn't want to tackle that, something new, while they're in quarantine. But I'm really pleased with the people that are definitely using it and still making connections. So that's been pretty steady. But we've also put a lot more extra focus in purchasing ebooks and audiobooks to allow people to have access to still have reading materials, since they're not able to get any physical items right now. I know that's probably not some people's preference to use ebooks and audiobooks, but that's what we can offer right now. And so we're putting all of our focus into purchasing more ebooks and audiobooks for the community. We've also increased our Hoopla. I don't have statistics in front of me, but I do know that this previous month it was a huge hike in checkouts for Hoopla statistics. We had 6 checkouts per month as a limit, and we've increased it at least through this fiscal year to 10 checkouts per month per patron, just allowing people to be able to have access to more materials. We have a community free trial through Canopy digital service. It's a filming, digital media streaming of like films, documentaries, TV. So just another option. I think Tumble Books also was able to give us free access, I think through August. And again, I don't have statistics in front of me, but I have gotten feedback that a lot of people are taking advantage of the library resources, because that's all, they can't get into the building. So, but Tumble Books is for children. It's basically videos of stories, animated videos of picture books, basically.
Great. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're still finding success and having a
Yeah.
lot of popularity with virtual things.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned some of the programs that you're doing, but is there anything else that you're doing to try and help and support the community during this time?
Well, I've been talking to my staff. I think we have talked and we're hoping to implement soon, just kind of doing check-ins with the community. So some of our regular patrons, or running reports to get some contact information from people that regularly use the library, and just to call them and check in with them and see how they're doing, and if they need anything, if they need help walking them through how to use their devices to get the ebooks and audiobooks. Just to touch base, again, this is like that small town community that we want to sort of help out in any way we can. And also just a phone call just to say, hi, how are you doing? If especially those people that don't have computer access that might need just to check in. So we're hoping to implement that soon. And then again, I'm hoping, again, it depends on what the governor says, but I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks, we're not going to be able to open up the building once non-essential businesses are able to come back to work. We're still going to keep the building closed for a while, but at that point, we hope to provide curbside pickups for the community and possibly even home delivery if that's what other people would prefer. Obviously, no contact delivery or curbside pickup, but we hope to start doing that soon.
Great. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to talk to me and give me a lot of information about the library that I certainly didn't know, and I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know. So it was very, very informative. So thank you very much.
Sure.
And before I let you go, is there anything else that you want the community to know that we didn't cover?
Yeah, I just want to say that we miss everyone so much at the library, and reach out to me if you need anything. There's a form on our website, that gets to me if you need anything. You can also email me, eoneil@salesinc.org. That's EONEILL at sales, SAILSINC.org. And we'll try to, help you in any way we can. And I hope to see you soon at the library.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Libby, for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you the best.
Thanks. You too, Amelia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.